this space is moving at a pretty solid pace. As I mentioned, we were talking about generative AI was all the rage, as it were, literally a few months ago. Now we're on to Agentic. But I think what we're seeing is it's the coming together of all these technologies as a real enabler. And for those more technical on the call, this just hasn't happened by chance. It's really been an evolution of the AI technology. It's the coming together when we look at Agentic is large language models, i.e. generative AI capability, with retrieval augmented generation, which is another mechanism that's become an underpinning capability of these systems. And then this notion of vector data stores, so really turning the data into embeddings and bringing this all together in a cohesive manner to really deliver business value to organizations. And what does that look like? We've just set it up in this demo. This could be through a virtual agent. It could be coming in via an email. It could be whatever we chose, but this was a good way for us to demo. So imagine if I said, create a new user for Dion Jones and give him an email and order him a security fob. So this is where we now start to being able to use the LLMs and generative AI, where we can now go through the process, and I'll just assign that to support. We'll just call that a request. And what that allows us to do now is, whether we're surfacing this via a virtual agent interface of, hey, I need this, 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 or whether it be an email that's coming into the system and the system and the LLM is processing that email and saying, okay, I know what to do with it, or whether it be in a co-pilot type fashion, what we're able to do is we're able to use our Agentic AI agent in this context to actually go and start to do some work for us. And what we can see over here is the agent actually working in the background. And what this agent's done is, first of all, it said a primary task has been processed by the multi-agent task orchestrator. And the way these agentic systems work is you have kind of the main agent, which takes the information you give it, and it basically looks at that information and says, okay, what do I need to do with this information? And it has agents that it can control or can talk to that are essentially capable of executing a task. So if we look over here, is it took what we gave it, it's broken it down and said, okay, create a new user for Dion Jones, and it has an agent, which is user provisioning agent. So it said, I know you know what to do with this, so I'm going to give this task to you as the multi-agent task orchestrator or the main agent. And then it said, well, we need to give Dion Jones an email. And I have an agent that knows how to update a user's email. So it's passed that off and said to that agent, hey, you need to go and create an email for this user that's just been created. And then it said, but hold on, you've asked for something additional, and that is to order a security fob. I don't have an agent defined that knows how to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to go and I'm going to create a subtask, which is order a security fob for Dion Jones, and that's going to get assigned to a queue, and someone's going to go and pick it up. And what we've just done is we've dynamically taken giving some English instructions to go off and actually execute that. And just very quickly to give you some insights, effectively the way this is working is in the back end is we have these agents that are sitting there. And many customers have, I might actually use the reporter problem one if I can see where it is. Give me one sec. You know, many customers often say, well, how do I do automated problem diagnostics? Well, it just so turns out, why not have an agent that's monitoring all the incidents that are being created, looking for similar incidents that are occurring over a period of time, and on the back of that, actually going and creating a problem to assign to the problem manager to go and do an investigation, and then linking all the records that it found, all the incidents to this new problem with a detailed analysis of what's happening. So this is where we're now really getting the agents to start working for us. And we have a similar agent in this system that we do for major incident, where we say, you know, monitor if you see a certain number of similar incidents in a specific period of time, go ahead and create us a major incident. And if I had to go over here, we can see it had created. So this was automatically created, this incident. Major incident VPN connectivity issue. Detecting affected 4 users with 4 reports in the last 10 minutes. The issue has been raised 4 times in the last hour, and we can see there's a bunch of incidents that have been linked to that major incident automatically created.